Savitri, Book 7, the Book of Yoga, Canto 6, Nirvana and the all-negating Absolute. Who art thou who claimst thy crown of separate birth, the illusion of thy soul's reality, and personal godhead on an ignorant globe in the animal body of imperfect man? Hope not to be happy in a world of pain, and dream not, listening to the unspoken word, and dazzled by the inexpressible ray, transcending the mute superconscious realm, to give a body to the unknowable, or for a sanction to thy heart's delight, to burden with bliss the silent, still supreme, profaning its bare and formless sanctity, or call into thy chamber the divine, and sit with God, tasting a human joy. I have created all I devour. I am death, and the dark, terrible mother of life. I am Kali, black and naked in the world. I am Maya, and the universe is my cheat. I lay waste human happiness with my breath, and slay the will to live, the joy to be, that all may pass back into nothingness, and only abide the eternal and absolute. For only the blank eternal can be true. All else is shadow and flash in mind's bright glass. Mind, hollow mirror, in which ignorance sees a splendid figure of its own false self, and dreams it sees a glorious, solid world. O soul, inventor of man's thoughts and hopes, thyself the invention of the moment's stream, illusion center or subtle apex point, at last know thyself, from vain existence cease, a shadow of the negating absolute. The intolerant darkness traveled, surging past, and ebbed in her the formidable voice. It left behind her inner world laid waste. A barren silence weighed upon her heart. Her kingdom of delight was there no more. Only her soul remained, its empty stage, awaiting the unknown eternal will. Then from the heights a greater voice came down. The word that touches the heart and finds the soul, the voice of light after the voice of night. The cry of the abyss drew heaven's reply, a might of storm chased by the might of the sun. O soul, bear not thy kingdom to the foe. Consent to hide thy royalty of bliss, lest time and fate find out its avenues and beat with thunderous knock upon thy gates. Hide, whilst thou canst, thy treasure of separate self behind the luminous rampart of thy depths, till of a vaster empire it grows part. But not for self alone, the self is one. Content abide not with one conquered realm. Adventure all to make the whole world thine. to break into greater kingdoms turn thy force. Fear not to be nothing, that thou mayst be all. Assent to the emptiness of the Supreme, that all in thee may reach its absolute. Accept to be small and human on the earth, interrupting thy newborn divinity, that man may find his utter self in God. If for thy own sake only thou hast come, an immortal spirit, into the mortal's world, to found thy luminous kingdom in God's dark, in the unconscious realm one shining star, one door in the ignorance opened upon light, why hadst thou any need to come at all? Thou hast come down into a struggling world to aid a blind and suffering mortal race, to open to light the eyes that could not see, to bring down bliss into the heart of grief, to make thy life a bridge twixt earth and heaven. If thou wouldst save the toiling universe, the vast universal suffering feel as thine, thou must bear the sorrow that thou claimst to heal. The daybringer must walk in darkest night. He who would save the world must share its pain. If he knows not grief, how shall he find grief's cure? If far he walks above mortality's head, how shall the mortal reach that too high path? If one of theirs they see scale heaven's peaks, men then can hope to learn that Titan climb. God must be born on earth and be as man, that man, being human, may grow even as God. He who would save the world must be one with the world. All suffering things contain in his heart's space, and bear the grief and joy of all that lives. His soul must be wider than the universe, and feel eternity as its very stuff, rejecting the moment's personality, know itself older than the birth of time, creation an incident in its consciousness, Arcturus and Belphegor, grains of fire circling in a corner of its boundless self. The world's destruction, a small transient storm, in the calm infinity it has become. If thou wouldst a little loosen the vast chain, draw back from the world that the idea has made. Thy mind's selection from the infinite, thy senses' gloss on the infinitesimal's dance, then shalt thou know how the great bondage came. Banish all thought from thee, and be God's void. Then shalt thou uncover the unknowable, and the superconscient conscious grow on thy tops. Infinity's vision through thy gaze shall pierce. Thou shalt look into the eyes of the unknown, find the hid truth in things seen null and false. Behind things known, Discover mysteries rear.